This video was shared by a young man who states that he was out on a nightly trip with friends when they saw something rather strange hovering on the other side of the road. He pulled his phone out and started recording. What caught him off guard was that with this strange sighting, there was an unusual whipping noise that he could hear stemming from that thing. If this was just a wind hose or something, why would it be illuminated? He had no explanations for this sighting, and after returning to the car a bit later that evening, the object had mysteriously disappeared, according to the uploader. Some comments even state that it looks quite similar to a head and a torso. Could this mean that we are looking at a real ghost here? Or is there a way more plausible explanation in your opinion? Michael and Heather are a couple that like to tamper with the paranormal forces. They stream some of their Ouija sessions to their viewership, and ever so often, some really interesting events are unfolding. But lately, as one would expect, these forces seem to make it into their house, even if they are not playing with their Ouija board. As we know, playing with a board opens up a door that oftentimes can't be closed easily again.
Hello? Hello? Whoa. Hello? No.
Yet they decided to proceed with their live Ouija sessions. On a side note, never take off your hands off the planchette without ending the session first.
Goodbye. Oh my god, I don't want to do this.
I'm freaked out now.
As you can imagine, it didn't end there. The following night, they heard some disturbance from outside of the bedroom.
Shh. Who's there?
Did the poltergeist open all their cupboards, or were they opened previously without showing us? But it escalated even more. Around 2 AM, an intruder seemed to start ringing their doorbell.
Go check, see if someone's at the door. Is anybody there?
Nobody can be seen outside their house. Strange. It seems that to this day, these events haven't really calmed down. They have several security cameras mounted in their home to capture all the activity. Even their pets are starting to get freaked out. Let's see how this case develops in the future. Now we want to follow Patrick and Jason from the channel The Haunted Side to the St. Charles Hotel in Carson City. It was built in 1862, which means it's the oldest hotel that's still running to this day in the state of Nevada. The hotel has quite a lot of dark history, including many reported deaths and murders. Their investigation starts on the 3rd floor tonight, which apparently is a hub for paranormal activity. Based on many guest reports, they get their SLS camera ready and start to set up shop in the room of former heavyweight boxer Larry Duncan. And then they can capture something really interesting.
Okay, good to go.
Now to me, that motion looks like something a boxer would do.
And we got the millimeter up and running again too. It's hotter in this room.
It is hot. It's
And there's-
pretty cold outside right now, so
There's no heat in here either. It's not like somebody's in here with a heater. Look, it's at 1.1.
Could this be the spirit of Larry? Possibly going through his old motions, a sparring match in the afterlife perhaps. Who knows? It's a pretty significant capture, whatever Jason recorded here.
It'll do that. Is there anybody in this room with us?
Finger. Wanted.
That would be.
Divided.
Shortly after Patrick and Jason make it into another room, Patrick notices a strong odor that reminds him of a very pungent perfume. Only seconds after, he feels a tap on his hip. What's really significant about this, though, is what the camera captures just inches away from him in the window.
Like a little touch or like a little pressure. That was weird. Is that you?
Did you notice it? Let's take another look. A white mist-like shape is walking by and disappearing towards the right. How odd. Jason and Patrick both were standing in place, and nobody else was with them at the time. Another former resident perhaps, that wanted to make its presence known. The energy then keeps rising in this room, and the air feels so thick that both decide to exit, but leave one of their camcorders behind. They had no idea that another magnificent event would be captured just moments after them leaving the room. A strange light anomaly just moments before another white shadow is disappearing into the bathroom. What's your opinion? Could all of these events be explainable? Reflections perhaps? Or was it all caused by some guests that never checked out? Mysterious. Ross Ellison has posted the following part of an investigation their team had held in the Homestead restaurant one night. The old restaurant is located in West Seattle. It is said that they were checking out the perimeter at the time when they noticed something strange appearing on one of the team's members' cameras. They had no idea what it was, but it was clear after a few minutes that it had to be an anomaly. A dark shadow seems to be peeking out of one of the open doors in the dark restaurant, and then it just vanishes. The team was baffled, to say the least. And they are pretty certain to have captured a real shadow figure here. What's your opinion? A paranormal find? Or was something else going on here? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hello guys, the following video is a really interesting one and was posted by a user called Mel Murder. Mel likes to go for walks in the afternoon and she tends to ramble about different things in her life that she boggles her mind over. Located in Sweden, there are many forests and fields close to where she lives. So what better place to go for a mind-clearing walk? Last week, Mel was filming her thoughts whilst making it through one of the little forests. The sun had already set, and she was going on about an appointment she just had with her psychologist. And it was on that walk that she captured something really strange that she couldn't explain. The funny thing is, a viewer pointed it out. She had no idea that she might not have been alone at the time. She's not a believer in the paranormal and considers herself a skeptic at best. But she also states that in this particular area, there shouldn't be too much wildlife. To give you all an idea, Mel walks the same path on one of the following days to show people the area by day.
At first, I'm gonna go up to a tree. This part becomes very slippery and muddy during evening time. Well, this is still kind of dry. So there is the tree, or was it that tree? I think it was this tree. And whatever you saw was down there. There's a big rock here, so it's not really easy to hide. And it's not very big, even if it was this tree. So yeah, it's not a big forest. There's no wildlife here. So it could just have been a person messing around or whatever.
Now let's see what actually transpired that night.
Jag undrar vad han kommer ställa för diagnos på mig. Och alltså, det är så jävla halt, helt gyttjigt här i skogen.
Did you notice anything? Look again.
Och jag undrar vad han kommer ställa för diagnos på mig. Och alltså, det är så jävla...
Something was standing behind the tree and was peeking at Mel here. It's really unclear at what exactly we are looking at here. Some people believe it to be an alien, others say it might be a paranormal encounter with an apparition from another plane. Of course, it also could have been a person in the end, but I feel that her recording and explanation about this incident feel pretty real to me. Do you think it was just an animal? And what about the glowing eyes on the ground that also seem to be looking in Mel's direction while she's walking by the tree? This could be an animal in my opinion. I'm really confused. Maybe this thing is related to the tall entity behind the tree? I'm sure this was a baffling encounter for everybody, and who can say for sure what happened that night? This will remain a mystery. The following recordings stem from May 2020, and they were captured by a young man who was out on the streets with his friends. The quarantine was just loosened a bit, and they were happy to spend some time together. However, something terrifying was about to unfold. One of the guys sees an eerie figure in the distance, and he swears that it was talking to them. And it's especially weird, because it was already pretty late, and they did not notice anybody else around at the time. Let's take a look.
No, that's like a young person.
I mean, after all, it is quarantine. Like,
We're getting the out of here right now. I'm dead serious. This is freaking me the out. Lens right in front of my. Dude, I'm actually freaking out. Dude, I'm gonna. Dude, it gets more.
that thing looks like it's looking right at us like this. That's what's meant to do. Look at it.
What the? Every time I move closer, it looks more and more like a figurine. I did not see that when we passed. Dude, okay. You know, yeah.
And then, according to the guys, this figure just vanished into thin air.
Nah, do that.
It reappeared again moments after, but this was where the recording ended. So let's think about this for a second. This apparition looks like a little boy, but what would a boy do there alone at night? If this isn't just a fun skit played out by the man, What did they come across here? It certainly mimics the voice of a child. Listen closely.
Young person.
I mean, after all, it is quarantine. Like,
Terrifying, isn't it? The following is a recording which was uploaded by Equitum Dueto Paranormal, and it was a live stream recording that was shared by a young man. He woke up to really unsettling noises in the middle of the night that were stemming from the lower floors of his house. At least this is what he believed at the time. He states that nobody else was in the residence besides his partner and their 2 cats, and the 4 of them were all situated on the upper floor. Let's see what was going on that night.
otra vez. Ay, perdón. Otra vez, hija. Otra vez empezaron a escuchar los ruidos. Los gatos están aquí en el cuarto de Ale. Espérame, voy a bajar. Tranquila, despierta bien. Voy a bajar. Voy a bajar, a ver, espérame. No, tranquila.
The young man makes it downstairs, and he expected to see several items lying around on the floor.
Ten mi celular a la mano con el número de la policía. ¿Quién está ahí? Tráete mi celular con el número de la policía. ¿Quién eres?
They give it a very thorough search, but can't find any misplaced items on the floor, or anything else that appeared off, which was strange. After all these noises, you would think to find something, right? Confused and very tired, they decide to make it up to the bedroom again. After all, there wasn't much they could do at this point. The young man even states that this place had been blessed by a priest before, so all of this was really strange to them. Of course they had trouble falling asleep that night, and it was shortly after that the activity continued. So they blessed the whole house by themselves to hopefully find peace that night. But no such luck. Now look at what happened next.
No tienes cabida en este hogar. No tienes cabida en nuestras vidas. En nombre de Jesucristo yo te expulso y te despojo de este lugar. Te despojo. Lárgate. Ser inmundo. Te despojo.
Something appeared to be standing outside the window here, something that shouldn't be there. And it was not possible, since the second floor window had no balcony attached. Some believe this to be an evil spirit that was causing all of this mischief that night. Could that be so? What would you do in this situation? How terrifying. The worst part is that the activity kept continuing all night long. I'll keep an eye open for possible updates on that case.